I was just putting my nose ring back in there, gross. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video, and I am managing to record this with my very broken camera stand. I am not feeling well today. I am wearing my cute Care Bear dress that I got off Shein. It is hot today, it's like 40 degrees, and I feel been really sick the last few days, the last week. I've been unwell for like a week and a half now. That's why I had to quit my job that I had. I had 2 part-time jobs and I had to quit one of them. I haven't been rostered on for my second job, so I may now not have any jobs. Yeah, it's been a hard week for me. I'm disappointed in myself, but I know it's not my fault. I'm disappointed in my body for letting me down. I was working really hard. I was doing like one day I did like 11 and a half hours, but it wasn't like all together. Like I got a break in between and stuff, so it wasn't too bad. And even though like it was wreaking havoc on my body, and like the next day I could hardly get out of bed, and it felt like when I put my feet on the ground, it felt like I was touching glass. That's how much pain I was in. After about 5 hours or so the following day, like when I got up that morning, like after about 5 hours, I started to come good. Like I do have fibromyalgia, so of course it's going to be hell if I start exercising or start working, like anything I do, it's going to be hell. But I was pushing through that. I was pushing through the fatigue, and then my inflammation reared its ugly head, and I had diarrhea and I couldn't go to work, and I had pains in the stomach and the abdomen, and I was really sick for a week. And then I've been sick again today, and I'm on the Gatorade, and I'm not eating much, and yeah, it's just beyond a joke. It's not cool. It's not funny. I'm really pissed off about it. There's nothing I can do. I have endeavored to try and get all the help I possibly can over the last couple of years for my health, and it's led me not very far. I've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I've been treated for suspected MCAS, but even the sodium chromoglomgate, whatever it's friggin' called, started to make me feel off in the gut, I think. And the whole time I've been on painkillers for my teeth. So it's just been this perfect storm of shitty things going on for me. And, I'm not depressed. I'm very proud of the fact that I'm not depressed, because like I've got so many other things going on. At least I'm not depressed. But sometimes I almost get depressed, Sometimes I start to feel sorry for myself because I think it's not fair. And, there's no point feeling sorry for myself. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to fix anything. The only thing I can do is like push on and keep demanding answers. So that's what I've done. I have booked in for my colonoscopy and endoscope in the new year, which I'm paying for, because otherwise I'm not going to get it done for probably another 6 months, because unless I've actually got cancer, they're not going to do it. I can't get in the public system. So I'm just going to pay for it and get it done. And I was supposed to have a hearing test today. Ben and I went to Specsavers like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. You can see all the lovely reading glasses Ben was trying on because he needs reading glasses. He was trying to do a Star Wars cross stitch and he couldn't see it. So yeah, he needs reading glasses. And my eyes are fine. My eyes are stable. At least that's fine. But I have dry eyes apparently. So I get dry mouth, dry skin, dry eyes. So is that part of fibro? Who knows, whatever. So I have to get drops. My eyes are actually stinging a bit today. That's all right though, whatever. It's the least of my problems. And we both did hearing screeners. So they said he was fine. Mine came up that I might have a bit of hearing loss. So I was supposed to have a hearing test today. Didn't work out. My son was having one of his days. You just got to roll with the punches sometimes with autism, because sometimes people can't help the way they feel, if they're overwhelmed or they're tired or whatever, and you just got to deal with it. So I chose not to go today. Ben's got a few weeks off work, so he's going to take me over to get the hearing screener. So actual hearing test, not hearing screener. I'm really tired today. I've been really out of it the last few days. I think it's coming off the painkillers. I actually think that one of the reasons why I got sick and couldn't keep working was because I went off my MCAS diet. I went off my bland, low histamine diet, and that made me sick. which it shouldn't, eating a sandwich and having a drink of lemonade and an ice cream a couple of times a week, like, shouldn't render you so sick that you have to quit your job. And it did to me. And that's why I'm pushing for answers, because, like, I normally don't drink fizzy drink. Like, I try to drink water because of all my health issues and because of all my teeth issues. I try only to drink water or tea or coffee, and then even like with the tea and the coffee, I've cut right back. I haven't eaten tomato sauce for 6 months or 4 months, 3 months, whatever, however long it's been. It feels like 6 months. I haven't eaten tomato sauce for probably 3 months. I've cut right back on cheese. Like, I've cut back on so many things. I cut back on bread, and like, yeah, I could feel the difference. But I said to the gastroenterologist the other day, I said, it's not sustainable. I said, I did an 11.5-hour day. I said, I needed to eat quickly. I didn't have time to go and cook myself, food. I was exhausted. And I said, I had a Vegemite sandwich for lunch. I said, I had a lemonade and an ice cream when I finished my shift, and I said, that shouldn't make me sick. But yeah, he was just like, we can't do anything until we do the colonoscopy. And I know that. My calpractin is up. I did a stool sample, and my calpractin is moderately high. Even when I was on a low inflammatory diet, I still had moderately high calpractin. So that just goes to show, imagine if I was eating whatever I wanted, how high it would actually be. And yeah, I've been put on sucralfate, or I don't know, I cannot even, something. I've been put on some medication. Here it is here. That's meant to help. So I've just got to take that until February. But yeah, I don't know. Doctors throwing around the terms like Crohn's disease now, inflammatory bowel disease, microcephaly something or other, microcephaly colitis or something. I don't know. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I've just got to deal with it. So then, because I lost my job, I had to quit. You can't F people around. I was like, I had to keep missing days off work. I was like, I just got to call it, because they need someone who's reliable, and I can't just like, I'm sorry, I can't come in because I've got diarrhea today. I'm sorry, I can't come in because I might need to run to the toilet today. I'm sorry, I was laying on the couch all day today. My digestive system felt like it was on fire. And the gastro doctor's like, oh, if you feel that bad, it's like, if I feel that bad, mate, I literally was laying on the couch all day, and I felt like I had burning from my abdomen to my chest. And you're like, if you feel that bad, really? But anyway, I don't know. I just don't know what to say. I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and I've gotten not really gotten anywhere. I cancelled my appointment with a functional doctor because of this. I thought, well, what's the point of going to a functional doctor who's going to treat me with all these things if I don't know what I'm dealing with? Like, there's a small chance there could be cancer or pre-cancer cells, which I'm not concerned about because I had a cancer scare last year. It turned out to be fine. I'm not going to stress about that because that's just a given that if you are having problems, they need to rule that out. So, of course, people always, and the doctor didn't say that, but I Googled it, and high calpractin can be an indicator of that. And mine was moderate, so I'm not panicking. My mum had bowel cancer in her 80s. I'm only 41. My dad had stomach cancer in his 60s, hence why I really need to have a colonoscopy and endoscope regularly anyway, to, if you've got cancer in your family, you have to go for these things when you hit to, like, normally it's 45, but I've been having all these digestive problems my whole life, and like I said, I just haven't gotten any answers. I get told, oh, you're depressed. I get told, oh, you're anxious. I get told, oh, it's IBS. And it's like, every time I go on a bland diet, I get relief. But after months of being on a bland diet, I normally end up anemic because I'm malnutritioned. And I lose weight and I become so weak. And I end up having iron infusions. It just it's a cycle. keeps happening. It's happened to me over and over and over. It's just like this cycle. I go bland for a while, I eat bland, I feel healthy, and then I start to get weak and malnutritioned and get anemic. Then I have to go on iron tablets, or now iron infusions, because I can no longer take iron tablets. And then I start to feel better, everything settles down, the inflammation must settle to a point at least where I can eat reasonably well, and then it starts to come back because of whatever I know my body doesn't seem to like food. I don't know. It's just really shit. It's really, really shit. Anyway, so because I had to quit my job, I thought, well, I might as well go back and keep studying, because like at least then I'm moving towards a future goal, you know? Yes, I'm a carer. Yes, my son requires a lot of care. But you are allowed to work or study for 25 hours a week. I don't know. I've just been reporting, and I put in the hours and that I was doing, and it was all fine. I still got some payment and stuff, but if I had kept working, I would have lost my carer's pension, but that would have been okay because I would have been on heaps more money. So I was down for that. I was like, I'm happy to work and get all this money. Like, I'm happy to do that. Then I hit the wall. So yeah, I was such a bitch this week. I was in such a cranky mood. Because I was angry with myself. I was angry with the medical system. I was angry with everything. And I was like, it's not fair. But whatever. You just got to pick yourself up and dust yourself off, because you can't wallow for a bit, but you can't, sink into the marsh and let it get to you. So anyway, I rang up Open Uni. I thought I would just go back, because I unenrolled from my subjects. I was enrolled in uni, got the job, I disenrolled or unenrolled, whatever you call it, because I was like, I can't work and study and be a carer. I'll get into trouble. Like, you're not allowed to do that. You're only allowed to do so many hours. And I was like, I don't even have that time anyway. I ended up failing my art subject because I couldn't do it. So I was working. It was like there was no time anyway. When I got home, I was fucked. I was like, there's nothing left mentally or physically, and I failed it anyway, because I didn't hand it in, because I didn't do it because I was working. But yeah, so, and I rung up Open Uni, and then they were like, oh, it's too late to enroll. It's 2 weeks past the enrollment date. You can't enroll till next year now. So now I've got no job, and I'm not studying, and I'm just like, fuck, pissed off. But yeah, I don't know, but the last week and a half, all I've done is just lay on the couch for the last week, just holding my gut, running to the toilet. And I think because I was on painkillers for 3 months, this tooth here gave me hell. I tried to get a root canal on it. It didn't work. I could feel it. I was like, you need to stop, because I can feel it. So then I had to wait I waited probably not as long as I could. I waited another 6 weeks, I think it was. And I was like, look, you need to try again, because I need to get it either ripped out or the root canal needs to work, because I can't keep taking painkillers. My gut's upset. I feel terrible. It's not good. So they went in, they did it. They waited 15 minutes or whatever for the anesthetic to work, got the root canal, and so then I had to keep taking painkillers probably a week and a half maybe after the root canal, because I was still getting pain. I'm very sensitive to pain because of my fibro, and I had a flare from the dental procedure, and I couldn't move my neck, and so anyway, but then probably I started sort of weaning off them about the time I started getting sick. I haven't had any painkillers for a few days, 3 or 4 days, and yeah, I've just been sick in the gut, running to the toilet, not able to really eat, and I felt really dizzy yesterday, and I thought it was a new medication that the gastro doctor gave me, and I rung him, and he was like, no, it's not that. I was really pissed off, because I'm like, he's gaslighting me, and I keep trying not to smile because of my teeth, but I've had them fixed. So I can smile now, apart from that. But anyway, but yeah, so I'm going to just wait till my stomach completely settles. I'll give it another try on Monday, because that will help me to get through until I have my procedure. But yeah, it's just been a lot, and I'm disappointed, but look, whatever. This is all pushing me to get answers, hopefully, finally. And if they go in, they don't find anything, I'm just going to say, you need to trial me on medication. I suffer from systemic inflammation. Like, I can't eat properly. I keep going round and round in circles, ending up anemic, ending up sick, ending up, like, I lose everything. Every time I go and make plans, I have to pull out because I end up sick. Like, I have no life. It's a miracle that I'm not completely depressed. And I have felt suicidal at times, like, not recently, but years ago, like probably about 6 years ago, I remember just being on the floor in agony, just laying on my floor, holding my stomach in agony. And I went to the doctors and I told them that, and they laughed at me. The doctor actually laughed at me. I think I've told this story before on here. And he told me to think positively like his mother in Egypt. And I ended up screaming the medical center down because I was so sick of it. Because I was in agony, and the only thing that helped was stop eating dairy. I went off dairy for like ages. I stopped eating, well, I still had a bit of milk in my coffee, but I stopped having dairy. Like, I went off ice cream for years. I went off yogurt. And then I think, geez, I hope I don't end up with osteoporosis when I'm older, because barely, ate any dairy for years and years on and off, because I find that it did help a lot. And all that severe pain that was doubling me up went away, and I felt a lot better. It didn't help completely, but it did help, But the fact that, and I mean, I'm not going to tell the doctor and say, oh, I'm suicidal, because I wasn't really. Like, it's not like, it's just in that moment. If you're laying on the floor holding your gut in agony, and you're like in an incredible amount of pain, and no one's listening to you, then of course you're going to think, geez, like, I'm really sick of this. I've had enough. Like, you know what I mean? So you just, you just think stupid things. But on a serious note, like, luckily I am a person who is pretty positive, because I think, like, if someone else, like, if other people had been through all of that, like, it's a lot, and it has affected me. Like, definitely it's affected me, but I just keep pushing for answers. But I think deep down, I do feel a great sadness, because I know that I've been robbed of things. I've missed out on things, like I've planned things, even like having friends, I've lost friends, because it's really hard to maintain friendships or have a job or have any like rhythm of life if you never know if what you eat is going to make you ill, and you're going to have to be near a toilet, or you are going to be laying there on the couch trying to ignore the burning sensation in your digestive system. Like, it's really, really hard. And then you end up with like inflammation all through your body, in your shoulders, and you can hardly walk. Like, I was limping for the last week and a half as well, but that comes and goes. Like, I know I've got weak muscles and back muscles because I've been so sick so often with the inflammation. It's forced me to rest, and then I've lost my fitness because I've been forced to rest, so it is just ruining my life. And as shit scared as I am of having a colonoscopy and an endoscope, because I'm scared of anesthetic, I know I need to do it. I need to face it, because I need to find an answer. And like I said, if they don't give me an answer, I'm going to say, you need to try me on medication. You need to send me to an immunologist or anybody who is willing to give me medication, because I need to be able to eat properly. Like, I can't eat salad, like anything, like vinegar, like so many things I can't eat. And it's not sustainable to say, well, just live on, boiled food for the rest of your life, or baby food, so your insides don't get inflamed. What the fuck's wrong with me? Like, I really, really hope and pray that I've got like Crohn's or inflammatory bowel disease or something. Like, I'd be so happy if they said I had Crohn's disease. If they said I had Crohn's disease, I would fucking bawl like a baby and be like, hallelujah, 20 years of on and off hell. And great, cool, give me an injection and then I can get on with my life, There are injections for Crohn's disease. So, yeah, and like Ben and I want to have a baby. I'm 41, I'm getting old, like I can't even contemplate having a baby until I get this inflammation under control. my gut is burning right now just because I drank this fucking Gatorade. And it's like, I'm dehydrated. I need to drink something. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. I hope this helps somebody. That's the reason I'm recording this. I'm just really hoping and praying that I will look back in a year or two and be like, wow, I've come so far from that woman who was chronically ill. I've come so far. I got my answers. I've lost the weight. I've got my energy back. I can eat a proper diet. I feel energetic. I'm making money, whether I work from home or go out and get a job or continue on with my degree, whatever. I just want to have those things, you know? Everyone has the right to have those things. And women like me, you know, like people who go to the doctors and get dismissed, it's not right. And like, it's not all the doctor's fault, you know, like they did tell me to have a colonoscopy about 4 years ago, but I was so traumatized from how I had been treated previously and I had no one to support me. So I didn't do it because I'd had a camera down my throat, had an endoscopy or whatever it's called, a couple of years prior. And the doctor told me that the reason I had lost like 20 kilos in a couple of months, ended up being 30 kilos in 3 months. I don't know how much I'd lost at that point. I must have lost all of it. The reason he told me I'd lost 30 kilos in 3 months and my stomach was burning even when I drank water was because I was homeschooling. And I was just gutted. Like, I'm like, are you serious? And I was so weak and I just didn't know how to stick up for myself. All the shit I've been through, if someone said that to me these days, oh my God, they would hear it. They would hear how pissed I was. But back then, you put your faith in the medical professionals and then they tell you some shit like that. You just don't know what to say. Like, he said I had functional dyspepsia and I was suffering from stress, basically. And it's like, well, that's really funny. I have been eating a vegan diet and now I can't eat at all because I've had a reaction to the food. And I saw another gastroenterologist about 6 months ago, and he told me I was suffering from food intolerances and fatness pretty much. He was like, basically just kept telling me how fat I was and I need to lose weight. And I was like, yeah, well, I know that. I'm not denying that I'm fat. Like, I'm well aware of the fact that I'm fat. I know that. But it's really fucking hard to lose weight when you can't eat a salad. Like, if I could live on salad again, I could easily lose weight. But every time I eat salad, I get IBS. And then I get burning and sickness and cramping. And then I get inflammation. And then I can't get off the couch. So how am I supposed to lose weight when I can't eat things like that, you know? So it just leaves me with, I'm going to have to get back on boiled veggies. I've got to get this weight off, you know, that will help, but I need an answer as to why I'm getting inflammation, and hopefully that will make the doctors take me seriously and they will do something about it. I've told Ben, if they tell me that I'm suffering from stress after I have my procedure, I said, you better fucking stick up for me, mate. I said, because I've had a gutful. No pun intended. Anyway, that's where my health is at. That's where it's at. I'm so grateful that I do not have depression, because I could seriously sink into a hole. If I suffered from depression, I would be so effing depressed right now. So effing depressed. But I'm so used to everything going wrong. I'm so used to missing out on life because of my health that it's like, oh, okay, this is where we are again. We're here again. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just going to live on boiled veggies for 3 weeks and I'll be feeling better in about 3 weeks. Great. Awesome. Hope I can eat something on Christmas Day this year. So I had one Christmas where I ate nothing all day. I'll put a photo up. I was so effing sick. And yeah, it was the worst Christmas of my life for many reasons, but I could not eat. I don't think I ate a thing that day. Even drinking water, my stomach was just burning. And yeah, stupid doctor couldn't even give me an answer. Told me I was suffering from stress, even though it's clearly, depending on what I eat, I have symptoms. And I don't have celiac, I don't have lupus, I don't have HIV, I don't have lactose intolerance either. That's just some of the lovely things I've been tested for. But anyway, and I don't have stomach ulcers either, you know. I do have H. pylori in my gut, but the doctor I saw the other day said half the world's got that. It's not that big of a deal unless it's causing symptoms. So I don't know if that's what's causing it or whether it's SIBO. The gastroenterologist I've got at the moment said, oh, who cares about SIBO? He said, that doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh, okay. Other people say it does. So I had another gastroenterologist tell me I should get tested for SIBO. So who the fuck do you believe, you know? So yeah, I'm just going to have my procedure at least. They've all told me, everyone's told me I need the colonoscopy, so I'm finally going to face it. I should have done it years ago, but like I said, I was just so scared that they would do it, and then they would gaslight me again and say, oh, it's all in your head. And I don't need that. I need answers. I need something to stop the fire in my belly, to stop the inflammation. Like even today, I didn't eat much. I had a potato for lunch. I roasted it in a little bit of avocado oil and a bit of salt, and I had some butter on it. Tastes much better with mayo. But I had that for lunch. That was pretty yummy. So, but yeah, I haven't eaten much today. And I had some honey porridge for breakfast. So yeah, anyway, wish me luck with the doctors. Hopefully I'll get my answers, and one day I'll be able to say, I got my answer, and I've got this medication, and I'm getting better finally, and I'm healing.